move on to the AFC, and I'll do the heavy lifting here. And then, actually, you know what? Here, let's go back to you. Let's get the lousiest division out of the way. Jeff, tell us about the AFC.
It's a division barely worth talking about. I mean, it's the AFC East.
Yeah, but okay, based on your fantasy opinions of various players in the division,
nothing surprising. I have nothing surprising to say. I mean, obviously, you know who's in first. It's not even close. They have elite quarterback, Hall of Fame quarterback. They have they have Gronk, Chris Hogan, and a bunch of who knows what's going to happen. So sure. That's still better than everyone else in the division. That's how sad the division is. You have a 41-year-old quarterback. You have Gronk is Gronk. We don't know how many more years he's going to play. And we have Chris Hogan, who played 5 good games last year. So,
I think that's the Patriots style, though, right? Like they have all these guys that, because you always hear about the Patriots, they trade back in the draft a lot and they collect these talent. And they end up accumulating well-priced talent, and that's why they'd rather. It's kind of like how you drafted both Rex Burkhead and Sony Michel. That's their approach too, which is like let's get 4 of these guys who are all cheap and they're all probably they're more skilled than you give them credit for because they're not that big or whatever. And each one of them will have a good 4-week stretch where they're great, and then they'll get hurt. We'll throw them away, and we'll get another guy,
That's just the way. Belichick, to me, is like he kind of looks like Skeletor. He's like the Skeletor of the NFL, basically.
Yeah. The thing that's interesting about the Patriots, though, is they do splurge. They'll do one big splurge, every offseason. And for all the talk about them trading down and cutting guys, hard, whatever, they'll make a splash. Sometimes it's a defensive player. Sometimes it's a guy like Brandon Cooks. Sometimes it's trading up into the first round to draft Sony Michel, One thing I find interesting, though, is those moves haven't really worked out. I mean, Brandon Cooks kind of worked out. They got back to the Super Bowl. He had a good season. Unfortunately, got hurt in the Super Bowl. But he kind of worked out. But, some of the – I don't know. I think if you're going to splurge, though, splurging on a rookie is safer than splurging on, a big high-price free agent, So, yeah.
So that's the AFC East. That's a wrap for the AFC.
Yeah, New England and then everybody else.
Look, I mean, I'll just say the Dolphins are in second place.
Yeah.
Because I actually think they'll finish in second place in real life.
Yeah.
Because as much as everyone wants to shit on Tannehill, he's okay. He's serviceable, and he's more serviceable than probably Sam Darnold right now, and definitely more serviceable than whoever Buffalo throws out. So a better quarterback will give you a better record in real football. And I
wonder how serviceable he is. He's serviceable.
We're going to find out. This is the year to find out if Adam Tannehill, whatever his name is, Ryan Tannehill, if he's serviceable. This is the year to find out if he's serviceable. So
yeah, there you go. And that will lead to second place in the division.
Can I call him Adam Tannehill for the rest of the season?
Sure. Every bad game he has, you get to call him Adam Tannehill.
Adam Tannehill and Ryan Gase. That's what
Ryan Gase is a bad coach. Adam Tannehill is a bad quarterback.
Well, look, I think Kenyon Drake, I've turned, coach speak and just overanalyzing it. I'm in on Kenyon Drake this year.
I'll say that I agree with you. New England's first and Buffalo's fourth. I could be talked into the Jets finishing second.
And
that's why. First of all, I don't know if you remember, but last year, they were in it for the first 9-10 weeks of the season. They were a competitive team. They fell off, right? But they were kind of good. And look at this. You talk about Miami. You have Kenyon Drake, and then actually Kenny Stills will be okay too. That's what we're talking about for the fantasy.
Better than the Bills, man. Come on.
For the Jets, though, there's some optimism in Darnold over Tannehill, right? Just because he's a rookie and he's a high,
That's a QB2 we're talking here.
Fine. But either way, that could be good enough. People are excited. People are high enough on Robbie Anderson if he can stay out of jail and in the league, right? People think he's going to be pretty good. People are bullet. I think overall kind of bullet. For where they're being drafted, Isaiah Crowell and Bilal Powell are representing values, And it's there's positive. People are positive about the Jets. I don't know.
Try and be positive about the Jets. I feel like you're even trying to convince yourself to stay positive.
A little bit. I am, but
I want to do it.
I feel if I were to definitively say Miami's going to finish second, that probably means that I'm too definitively stating how good Kenyon Drake is. Whereas if I'm being realistic about Kenyon Drake, and I do think he's good. I was the first one talking about how good he was. I don't think he's amazing. I think he's good. But if he's as reasonably good as I think he is, then that means Miami's not a lock for second place, and the Jets could be in there too.
Quick question before I talk about the Bills for 8 seconds.
Yeah.
Kenyon Drake finishes a top 12 running back this year, fantasy standard?
I will give that a 40% chance.
Okay, so top 20, you're saying. He's a top 18 to 20.
Top 16, I'll say. If you said top 16, I'd say yes. Top 12, I'll say 40% chance.
Okay, and finally, the Bills should just have paper bag helmets this year, or just have a helmet with a logo of a paper bag. You want to talk about LaShawn McCoy? We can, but it's already going to fantasy-wise, it's embarrassing.
He's all there is. He's all there, and even then, like, yeah. So maybe because he's a really good player and he'll get a lot of volume, he'll still have a good season. Or this could very quickly turn into a season from hell, and maybe he starts thinking about where he wants to play next year. So maybe week 4 he gets hurt, and that could be an injury that you rush back from, or it's an injury you decide to call it quits for the year. Look, I'm a baseball fan, and I can tell you how many times I've seen the Toronto Blue Jays were out of it in August, and then Jose Bautista gets hurt in August, and guess what? He doesn't come back. Why? Because he doesn't have to. LaShawn, Buffalo is going to be bad. Buffalo might get relegated. They're going to be the CFL next year.
I mean, he's all that they might have.
Yeah.